Northampton came storming back in the second half, but Munster hung on for a vital European. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. Both teams get into this one needing a win to keep the hopes of progressing alive. Munster started pretty well. First minute, get a penalty, Carberry strokes it over 3-0, settles a little bit of the nerves that were there before the game. Then, they don't kind of sit back, they come forward again, they get themselves a 5-meter line out, they drive them all, and O'Donoghue attacks up the blind side, but he gets halted. Nash and Byrne then both go close. We're playing advantage for a penalty for offside. We come back for that. It's tapped by Kilcoyne, who goes within a metre or so of the line. It's then recycled, and Coombs gets over to the right of the ruck. And like I've said it many times before, that guy just has that knack of getting that last metre to get over the line. Like he's a try machine in those regards. And it really is an important skill in these big games and really does make a difference. Try gets converted and we're at 10-0 to Munster. Munster looking pretty good. We then have Haywood goes to the bin, a late hit on Carberry there from him. So Munster have a bit of advantage there with the extra man, and they get the second try while Northampton are down to 14. They work their way up to about the edge of the 22. Then they spread it and they find Coombs. He's out on the left wing in a bit of space. It looks like Northampton probably going to cover it. There's a couple of defenders converging on him. But just as he's getting tackled, O'Donoghue comes on a nice line on his inside and he puts the ball off to him. That is converted as well at 17-0. Munster looking really good at this stage. They're being very aggressive in defence as well. And, that aggression really is keeping them on top, but it also gets them in a bit of trouble. Peter O'Mahony, initially he gets over the ball and wins a penalty, as we've seen him done many times before in the red of Munster and the green of Ireland. But then Casey tries to go quick tap from the penalty, but he's called back. Initially thinking maybe it's from the wrong mark, but actually the TMO is checking something, and it's a hit from O'Donoghue. He comes in, it's shoulder to head, it's upright, there's no real mitigation, no change in heights or anything that direction. So deserved straight red for him. Munster then have almost 60 minutes to go with a man down, and initially they keep applying the pressure, they keep attacking, and they get themselves in a decent position. Win another penalty close to the line. It's tapped by Scannell. He goes within a couple of meters of the line, and the ball is recycled, and that man Coombs, he gets himself over again. That one is converted 24-0, and that's our halftime score there. Munster really looking good, but Northampton then they really come back strong in the second half. First of all, get themselves in a decent position. The forwards go close. They suck in plenty of defenders close to the post. The ball is then spread out, and Freeman has just a stroll over the Munster run out of defenders. That one's converted on about 24-7. Then they get a penalty then, and that's popped over, makes it 24-10. And they're just slowly eating into that Munster lead at this stage. And Munster not really producing anything themselves in terms of a threat to add points onto their tally. They managed to find some space on the right wing, and Hutchinson just puts a little kind of dink over the defence, and Munster defender, I don't know who it was, goes back, he gets in there, gathers the ball, but he's under under pressure from the chase, and they flood players into the breakdown. Northampton do manage to turn the ball over and pop the ball out to Ram. He shows really good strength to barge his way over. Smith adds on the extras for that one, and we're at 24-17, and it really is game on at that stage. Northampton then, they win another penalty, and they decide that they're going to go for the posts and just keep chipping away at the lead, rather than, could have gone for the corner and maybe kept the pressure with a possible try, but they decide, let's just take the points on this one. So Smith does the honours from the tee. We're at 24-20, and they're creeping ever closer. We're into the last 10 minutes at this stage, so not much time for them to, overhaul Munster, but it's only a 4-point game at this stage. And as I said, Munster not really doing much in terms of attack, but they do manage to get themselves upfield. They win a penalty, and Crowley, who's on at this stage, he slots that one over for 27-20 and gives them just that little bit of breathing room going into the final few minutes. Northampton, though, do have another chance. There's about 2 minutes left on the clock. They win a penalty. It's central. They could go into the corner and potentially get a try that would, if they converted it, get them a draw out of the game. But they decided they're actually going to go to try and win the game. So they popped the penalty over for 27-23, and we're back to a 4-point game. And the idea basically is to try and retain the kickoff and give themselves one last chance to win the game. So they do manage to gather the restart, but there's plenty of Munster players in attendance, decent chase from them, and almost immediately a maul forms. They do make some progress up the field, but you can see the Munster players are more concerned with actually working their way deeper into the maul so they can get hands on the ball. And they manage to do that. They halt the maul. Northampton are told to use it, but at this stage, there's no way the ball is coming out of that maul. It's deemed unplayable by the ref, and then he blows up for the end of the game. It really was a great second half performance from Northampton. Just not enough in the end, but still fair play to them for coming back the way they did. They've got one more game now to play in this, but pretty much sure that they're out at this stage. They just don't have enough points, even if they win with a bonus point in the last game. It won't be enough for them. For Munster, vital win, but they didn't manage. It looked like when they had 50 men on the field that they were going to get the bonus point, but obviously weren't able to do that in the second half, as they were holding on a bit. So I feel like they probably they've got Toulouse up away in the final pool game, and I feel like they might have to either get something out of that game or just hope that that results go their way. One of the other results go their way. I think there's one team at the minute outside of the top 8 in their pool who could potentially overtake them. So they probably are through, but they'll want to make sure of that and get something away to Toulouse next week.